You know who it is, and you know what time it is. Time to piss off some feminists, trad cucks, and whoever don't want to know the truth. Oh well, let's get started. What is going on, gents? It's R.P.M. here, reporting from Mobile Command. Boy, do I feel like a rant this morning, especially after listening to the Secretary of War, and I like that new designation, by the way, Pete Hegseth, and how he went in essentially on the military. Yes, I'm all for the things that he said. Not everything, but the overwhelming majority of his argument, his speech, I'm in full support of. Yes, it is time to return the military to its primary function. The military is a war fighting machine. However, unfortunately, it became a social experiment. Yeah, the standards definitely fell to the wayside. And I'm going to go ahead and say it because of my 20 years in the Navy. When women were allowed to come on combat ships, that's when things really started to go downward. That's when a lot of old traditions that we used to do fell to the wayside. And one tradition that I'm going to talk about is the crossing the line ceremony. Yeah, for all my Navy brothers out there, you know, becoming a shellback. Yeah, that's an old tradition. And when I first went through on my first ship, I went through the old school way. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, crossing the line ceremony is when you cross the equator. However, on a different ship, I actually became a golden shellback, which is when you cross the equator and the international date line. You hit that X, but there's actually a higher order called the Order of the Emerald Shellback when you cross the equator and the prime meridian. Never got to go that route. But hey, I'm a golden shellback, so I'm cool with that. But when you cross the equator, those of you who weren't shellbacks are called polywogs or slimy wogs. Basically, you're summoned before Neptune, King Neptune, or Neptunus Rex, whatever you want to call him, and the court. And you have to go through basically a huge humiliation ritual. I mean, the shit that you got to do. You got to crawl on non-skid. You got to go through the trash chute. You got to dig out the cherry from the royal baby. Yeah, it was humiliating, but those were rituals of camaraderie. Yeah. Sometimes, back in the old Navy, yeah, they'd actually throw the polywogs overboard and bring them back up. But, yeah, I didn't go through any of that. But, yeah, I did go through the absolute humiliation ritual to earn my title for shellback. And when I went through the third time, when we actually had females on board the ship, all of it got toned down. All of it. Yeah, I actually got my ass whooped with a shillelagh, which is basically a cut-off section of fire hose. Yeah. It sucked going through it, but once you went through it, that brotherhood that you felt becoming a shellback, yeah, it's something that you just can't take away. But of course, when women had to go through it, man, this shit was so fucking PC and toned down. I was like, you know what? I'll just go ahead and pretty much sit this out, because this is ridiculous. I went through the rough shellback initiation. But when it came to women, the only thing we did is throw a little trash at them, spray them down with water. Okay, you're a shellback. Blah, blah, blah. Nah. Mm-mm. 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 But yeah, then you had the standards of PT that went down. Yeah. He made sure to address the fat generals. And for all of our other Navy brothers out there, you can pretty much guarantee there's going to be a whole lot of chiefs that are going to end up retiring. Not going to be an instant thing, but yeah, there's going to be a lot of chiefs going to be, retiring from the Navy. Because we all know, if you've been in the Navy, there was always some chiefs out there that were way out of physical standard. But, hey, we know the Chiefs mess, the goat locker. We know the politics that went on behind that. But yeah, hopefully that tradition will come back, and hopefully the military will get back to what it used to be, a war-fighting machine. Now, of course, you got so many talking heads out there, people who've never put the uniform on, people who've never sworn the oath, having a whole lot to say. Yeah, in my humble opinion, nah. Sit this argument out. Sit it out. If you're not going to put the uniform on, if you're not going to raise your right hand, if you're not going to swear the oath, then pretty much your opinion is not going to matter. It really isn't. Now, I have to say this. As fiery, as impassioned as his speech was, yes, people need to be able to fit the standard. However, we got to go back to reality. And what is the reality? The overwhelming majority of young people are not even physically fit enough to join the military. How do we fix that? We got to go back and reinvest in young boys. Young boys need recess in school. They need PE. They need competition. This whole everybody gets a trophy mentality, the participation trophy mentality, that has got to go away. It's got to go away. Young boys need to understand, look, there are winners, there are losers. You work hard, you're going to win. And something else that I really want to talk about, but I can incorporate it into this conversation. Kentucky and their 50-50 default, child support agreement. The 50-50 custody. That right there was ingenious. I would have never thought of that. My solution was always, hey, if the women want out of the marriage, make them pay for it. This right here is even simpler. So why is this not a nationwide thing? Oh, yeah, that's right, because the system knows that it's going to lose billions in child support enforcement. But so far, there are supposedly 20 other states that are going to be adopting the similar law or something along those lines to reduce, divorce. And of course, you had the feminists and their allies come out saying, oh my God, these women have to stay in abusive marriages because of the kids. No. Uh-uh. Nope. Just because you pissed that man off and he decided to go upside your head don't mean shit when it comes to the kid. Nah, miss me with that shit. But yeah, in that, you can actually start the building blocks of building better young men to become better military personnel. However, you can physically build those young men into being capable soldiers, but there's something else that has to be done. What's that, you might ask? You have to give these young men a reason to want to join the military. Because believe you me, as it stands right now, today's environment, that ain't it. Nope, nope, nope. Especially when you take Ukraine as the prime example. The women were allowed to leave the country. The men were forcibly drafted. And what did the women of Ukraine do? They jumped on any man that would have them. That right there is a powerful de-incentive for men to join the military. Now, of course, you're going to have your more conservative men who, out of a sense of duty, might join, but even that is not going to be enough to replenish the ranks. These young men are going to need a reason to fight. They're going to need a reason to raise their hand and take that oath. Today's modern woman, that ain't it. They're saying nope, 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 which is why you're going to have to do some serious reinvesting into today's young man. You have to. Tell these women who say anytime men decide to do something for themselves that they're excluding women to shut the fuck up. Shut up. Go over there. We're trying to get these men back in line. We're trying to get these men up to a good place. Shut up. Which means you're going to have to kick feminism square in the fucking mouth. But hey, I find it ironic. Women love to talk about toxic masculinity being a bad thing until it's something that serves them. Yeah, right. Get the absolute fuck out of here. But yeah, all in all, the problem are the problems. You've got to remake a good, solid foundation for young boys if you want them to be able to grow up and possibly go into the military. So yeah, this is something that's going to take decades. And we need to start off by telling women to shut the fuck up. We no longer care for your bitching and whining. We simply don't care. Oh my God, these men are trying to be anti-woman. Shut the fuck up. All right? Unless you want to get out there and do the damn job. And of course, we have plenty of evidence of women raging feminists as soon as the words World War III come up. Oh, I'm just a girl. Nope, let me go ahead and twist my little bald head into some sort of plaits or something. Nope, I'm just a girl. Fuck out of here. Get the absolute hell out of here. Yeah, like these. Matter of fact, here's something that we can do. All these Antifa, domestic terrorists. Yeah, I would say maybe we should go ahead and sentence them to 4 years in the military. But yeah, the vast majority of those people are mentally unstable, which is something else. You've got to grow mentally stable people, which is going to end up saying, hey, you know what? You got to put fathers back into the homes. Because we can all pretty much agree. When the father was removed and the children was raised by emotionally stunted women, that's where the mental illness in a lot of children started. That's where those seeds were implanted. But hey, there are way more things that can be done, that need to be done, that are going to be hard decisions that have to be made. The most basic decision is being able to tell these women and these feminists to shut the fuck up or put on the goddamn uniform themselves. Yeah. All these talking heads, shut the fuck up or put the uniform on yourself. Yeah. And if you don't like America so much, get the fuck out. That's something that really needs to happen. Oh, you hate America so much? Okay. Here's a ticket to a country of your choice. Get out. All these feminists that hate America, get out. All these pro-blacks that hate America, get the fuck out. If you hate America so much, leave. But we know why they won't leave. Because they know if they ever go to another country with their American mentality, they will get dealt with. Hey, it is what it is. Well, I've rambled on long enough. Let me know what you guys think. So far as me, I think the Secretary of War is definitely right on the vast majority of what he had to say. The military, or should I say, the woke PC military needs to go away. The military needs to go back to its roots, to fight the war to win. A war fighting machine. The social experiment is over. Clean house. And for all you people out there who really think that this PC military, this PC society is going to continue to sustain itself, you better understand this, and you better understand this crystally damn clear. The fake power that you thought you had in the woke society, yeah, that's getting ready to go out. Feminism, fascism, racism, and all these isms that have been used to control the masses for far too long, yeah, that's going out right along with it. Because believe you me, more and more people across the board are starting to unite under the banner of what is right. Hey, it is what it is. That's all I got to say for this one. R.P.M. I am